Full throttle to Texas. A Cobb County minister is taking a road trip to preach the gospel. Now, he might tell you his vehicle is his ministry, but his real wheels are a moped. CBS 46's Sarah Parker met up with him at the start of his journey across 3 states.
I feel like I've really got a message to give them. I've got a story to tell them.
A man on a mission, a minister on a moped. Reverend Stephen King is taking his gospel on the road, exactly 909 miles from Marietta, Georgia to Houston, Texas.
Doesn't matter if I make it 1 mile. Doesn't matter if I make it all 909, that it's of God in either way.
At 100 miles per gallon, the whole trip will cost Reverend King about $25. But it's his prison ministry that's the motivation fueling the trip as he begins his journey to Texas penitentiaries. Road ready, but more huffy than Harley. The Blue Whizzer maxes out at about 30 miles per hour. It's illegal on the highway, so he'll have to stick to surface streets.
I have a 1967 Harley hardtail, okay, which actually this ride's more comfortable than the Harley. But, and this gets right at 120 miles to the gallon.
And don't let the 2 horsepower fool you.
Hey, I'm an aircraft mechanic. You know, I'm not going to stand for that. Done a little tweaking, a little bit of fine-tuning, you might say.
As for the weather?
You know, I can handle it pretty well as far as there's no deluge of rain. If it gets severe rain, you know, the belts start slipping and I start losing speed. So at that point, I will come to a rest and stop somewhere.
Sounds scary? Just ask the man with the legendary name.
As far as the name Stephen King, I get the opportunity to tell them, oh, you've got me confused with the other guy. I'm the wide-eyed, sanctified, blood-bought, spirit-taught, Bible-toting, scripture-quoting, Satan-bashing, sin-trashing, hard-praying, truth-conveying, Christ-following, pride-swallowing, preacher, teacher, believer, dreamer, Stephen King, the one that really does want to scare the devil out of you, okay?
Sarah Parker, CBS 46 News.
Whew, that was a mouthful. He's a minister on a moped with a mission. We first told you about Stephen King's journey to raise money for prison ministries earlier this year.
Just in time for the holidays, King opened a halfway house to help former inmates get back on their feet. CBS 46's Sarah Parker has more.
Well, the motto of this ministry is to stop the revolving doors of prisons. Often people who become creatures of routine behind iron bars and locked cells can actually regress back to their bad habits when they're on the outside. This pastor's purpose has finally been fulfilled. A moped journey ends with a new home and some second chances.
But if it wasn't God, if you just got worked up emotionally or...
Just 4 days ago, Michael Meeks was in a prison cell.
It's a big difference. It's like pretty much going from living outside behind a dumpster somewhere to moving into a penthouse as far as the difference it is.
Without any promise of
Michael is one of 4 former inmates who've been taken in by the Set Free Aftercare Ministry, a program to help people readjust to life after prison.
All right. All right.
Minister Stephen King opened the doors to this halfway house right in time for the holidays.
This is all pretty well a dream to be able to get things like this opened up and start helping people out.
But the road to get here was a long and unusual one, driven by King on his moped. He raised over $8,000 on his cross-country ride to reach his goal, opening up a home for just-released prisoners with friend and fellow minister Tom Allanson.
If somebody doesn't give them a second chance, then the world is going to say, no, you're an ex-felon and we can't hire you. And so if they can't get hired, how can they eat?
I don't think we're hurting for food.
But this is more than a fridge full of food and a soft bed to lay their heads.
He said, God spoke to me today.
It's a carefully choreographed program with structure, from counseling to career skills.
Not only do you have it in your mind and your heart, but you have someone to remind you of it. So if you start slipping off and going to the side, there's someone there to pull you back and say, all right, you need to work on this and push you straight forward. Keeps you on a productive path.
The ministers hope they can expand the halfway house, ultimately creating a section of their complex to include housing. So once these former inmates graduate from the program, they can rent apartments and continue their adjustment into society. Sarah Parker, CBS 46 News.